And Chris Brown, welcome.
Good evening.
No GA this evening. He's out moving house, so good luck to him. And Nat Peters has decided not to turn up this week, even though he did last week, even though there was a no-show. Sorry about that. Last week I cracked my back, and Chris had a bad head.
Yeah, bad head.
Yeah. Chris, do you know what I did? I bent over sideways to pick up an empty plastic bucket, and I have suffered intolerably.
It gets worse.
Enough about me. Don't worry about me.
I'm not worried about you at all.
I did manage to get down to the stadium last Tuesday. What a freezing cold, miserable, bitter night it was as well. Is there anything worse than football on a Tuesday night in February? No.
Against Millwall.
Against Millwall. Of course, who we always win against. Yeah. Everybody was saying it, but even my son, right, Dad, 4-0, he was getting 4-0, put a bet on, put a pound on. I said, all right, mate, 4-1. I gave him a pound. He runs up the top to where the little betting stall is at the back of the Tilton. Closed. Closed. Why?
Hey?
It was closed. It wasn't even open.
Is it normally open for night time?
I don't know. That might be the case. The fact that it was a night game.
Right, yeah.
Wouldn't like to say.
Betting regulations.
So I didn't have a bet.
No.
I didn't lose my pound. Well, I did for about 2.5 hours, because until I remembered that I'd actually give it to and ask him for it back, and I made sure I got it back too. Don't you worry. Right, my first on my agenda tonight, Chris, is going to be the catering issues at St Andrews. We turned up last Tuesday. Chris has took his earphones off to listen to this.
Yeah, I know.
And I know this isn't the Birmingham City catering.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
It is the back of the Tilton, where I always get my massive quarter pounder, and they are nice burgers from there, right? The mobile one that's outside.
Oh, okay.
Okay. My son is an absolute vegetarian. He won't even wear leather.
So it's a bit like a vegan, really.
Pretty much so. Yeah. And that's out of choice. That's his choice. I'll just eat my burger in front of him. I don't care. It's not for me. That's it. And basically, he wanted some chips, but then he wanted a bun, a piece of bread.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't sell him a piece of bread. They wouldn't either give him a piece of bread.
I bet you wouldn't either, would you?
And they wouldn't sell him a piece of bread.
No, they wouldn't.
It's a piece of bread. Come on, I mean, look, if you give a quid for a piece of bread, would it have really... We don't sell bread.
If you'd give us a quid, if you'd have said to me, if you'd have come to me and said, can we just have a piece of bread, here's an extra quid, I'd have done it.
Yeah, of course.
A burger's £3.30.
Right.
So a third of the burger is the bread. So there's a quid.
Look, I used to have a burger van myself.
Yeah.
I know how much the bread doesn't cost.
Yeah. Well,
right?
yeah.
And I genuinely mean that, right?
It literally is pennies.
However, they wouldn't even give him a piece of bread.
Yeah.
Huh? Ain't very good, is it?
It's a bit harsh, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I know that's
Was this before kick-off or half-time?
Before kick-off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just...
Probably because they'll say things like, we don't know how many people are going to come, we can't...
Wow.
You know, the stock issues... You have as many pieces of bread as you've got burgers. So
they also work at a health and safety factor in there some way.
I'm sure there will be some.
Have you seen the latest news? One of I think it's Newcastle Racecourse, is it? Of banned picnics or something like that on health and safety. I'd tell you what, don't start on health and safety. But seriously though, I mean, it was a piece of bread.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
should have come to my bar.
Number one.
That's the first mistake.
Well, do you know something, right? And here's the fact. I genuinely like the burgers from that one outside.
Yeah.
I genuinely do.
Well,
right?
I'd say
I've
seen our burgers. You wouldn't pay for £3.30 for our burger when there's a burger van outside.
Yeah, we always go to...
But I won't be going there again.
Do they call it Fat Les or Fat...
I don't know.
Barry
I don't know who it is, but
right outside the entrance,
the back of the Tilton. Yeah.
No, the other end, towards the railway end.
Oh, okay, yeah. The one at the lights.
Yeah,
the
that's
one at the lights.
Yeah.
He sells sells ice cream at the Blues Ladies grounds.
Oh, does he?
He's got an ice cream van at the Blues Ladies ground.
We always have one there. I don't know. It's just tradition, but.
I know it's not generally football, but it's part of the experience of going to the football.
It's the football experience, isn't it?
He was flabbergasted that he couldn't get a piece of... I'm not quite... It makes me mad. It's a piece of bread.
Yeah.
Piece of bread.
It's one thing I do have to have when I go to the game. That's a cup of bovril. I have to have a bovril.
I don't know. It just
Nick had his coffee.
You what, sorry?
Nick had his coffee on Tuesday. Was
it
you had the coffee or who you were with?
Sorry, go on.
You had the coffee off us. Was it you or who you were?
Oh, that was
with?
my brother's, my son's girlfriend.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, yeah,
I was going to say, he would have had that to sober up, probably.
Because I asked Chris to ask her for identification for a cup of coffee. Check her ID if I were you, mate.
Darko said he's still defrosting from the Norwich match.
It was a very cold night. Now, I'd hurt myself on the Sunday, and I really, really didn't actually genuinely feel like driving all the way into Brum and then going to the game. But I'd got the tickets anyway, so... And I just sat and shivered from start to finish.
I think
From start to finish. That time we changed it and had football in the summer.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, yeah, why not? Yeah.
WSL is.
WSL.
Yeah.
What you got to tell me about WSL this time?
Say again.
What you got to tell me about the ladies?
Well, Blues have made their second signing of the pre-season. Freda IEC has joined from Arsenal. She's a really powerful, pacey striker. She's joined from Arsenal, like I say. Arsenal have bought a lot of forward players this pre-season, so she's a young English attacker, and her options have been limited due to the signings that Arsenal have made this pre-season. So I think it's a good move all round. We've gained a really good attacker, in which that's
was it generally a bit of a shock?
I didn't see it coming,
No.
but when you think about the amount of forward players Arsenal have signed, and you think she's getting further and further down the pecking order, it'd be really good for her to. It's a good move for her. She'll get more game time at Blues than she will at
Good
Arsenal. So I think it's a good move all round. Yeah, definitely.
Roll on summer football.
Yeah.
Blooming marvellous, mate. Have we cracked the 14,000 downloads yet, Chris?
We're almost there. I think we're about 160 off. We'll have it by Friday.
By Friday.
Yeah, we'll have it by Friday.
Okay, I shall contribute to that tomorrow. I always have a listen again. So keep it up, keep it coming. Right, let's go back to that Millwall game then. What the dickens happened? We just didn't turn up.
They look. I watched about half hour, and they looked
reminiscent of a Lee Clark side. That's exactly how I felt all the way through the game.
They looked. They just looked a bit lethargic. I don't know whether with the Fulham game had taken it out of them on the Saturday.
News just coming through from Blues Collective. The Villa are at home to West Brom in the FA Cup.
Oh, what a game!
Oh, it had to be the Midlands derby, of course, didn't it? Surprise, surprise. So that means one of the Midlands teams will be going out. I know which one.
At Villa Park.
It's at Vile Park. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they might be getting a trip to Wembley there, but
Oh well.
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah.
West Brom have actually playing some really good stuff. I thought they were excellent against West Ham in the
But it's a cup game.
FA Cup.
Yeah. And it's a derby.
Yeah.
And the Baggies are definitely going to be up for that one.
Yeah, they'll take loads,
yeah.
won't they? They'll take.
There again,
They'll
new
fill their
man-
allocation. Yeah.
Yeah, both with new managers. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Okay, something's just flashed up on the shout boxes. What are the long-term effects of smoking weed? Don't know where that's come from.
Yeah, I don't know who that was. I would say Doco's a bit further.
Not sure who's that aimed at. Yeah.
Where's that from?
I think you'll find that's an advertisement, Nick.
Right, okay. There is an option to remove this ad.
There is, yes.
New sponsors, Kidder. Tell us about
We've
it.
got a new sponsor, yeah. It's a company. It's not my company.
I'll go back to the Millwall game in a minute, sorry.
It's a similar name. It's Image 2000 Cleaning
Right.
Services, and they're sponsoring us.
Not your company at all?
No,
Nothing to do with you?
No. Well, sort of to do with
Oh.
it, but it's not my company.
Oh, your company.
Yeah. And they're going to sponsor us for
Excellent.
12 months.
Marvellous.
That's good. So, but we still need 2 or 3 more sponsors to get us
Or
through.
20 more, or 30 more, or 40 more.
Yeah.
We should have corner flag sponsors, and
Yeah.
headphone sponsors, and microphones.
We
Front
should
door
do.
sponsors.
Other companies do.
Yeah, front door sponsors.
That's right.
right.
Lager sponsors. Biscuit sponsors.
What's the lighting called outside that comes on automatic?
That's
lighting
right.
sponsors.
Yeah. Security cameras.
Any sponsors that we want. Okay, so Liverpool, Blackburn, Preston, Man United versus Arsenal, and Bradford home to Reading.
Fancy Bradford.
Whoa. Yeah, that's their dream. That would have been their dream
And
tie.
that draw was done by
Reading at home.
Woy, I think.
It was, yeah.
Woy's done the draw.
And
Oh, was he?
Tom
Yeah.
Finney's son.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue Obvious says, I think the Fulham game took too much out of them. If
Yeah,
we'd have beaten
that's,
Fulham, then maybe we'd have taken that momentum into the Millwall
Yeah.
game. Too many missed chances against Fulham. We didn't.
Yeah, I agree with that. A lot of people were saying, they came away from Fulham feeling pretty dejected about not having actually won the game, you know, with the missed chances they made. So maybe it was just a hangover from that. You know, the players, they're the same. They're only human, aren't they? They're the same as the fans. If they feel that they're a bit dejected too, coming away from Fulham without the win.
I should imagine Blues fans are still happy over.
Oh, you've got to be.
It was an absolutely dire atmosphere from start to finish. It was dire, completely and utterly boring. When I looked at that video from the Fulham game, I don't know whether you've seen it. 3,500 Blues fans all bouncing up and down.
No, I didn't.
It was. I'll send you a link to it. It was absolutely incredible, and that is exactly how I remember Birmingham City being. St Andrews being. Yeah. And what is it that's made the place such a maul?
It's a different game nowadays. I mean, it's not just St Andrews. Any home fan, no home fans. Are the same as they are away from home. It's you know, the people who go away from home, 85% of them aren't really that interested in whether we win, draw or lose. They're just going to they're going to sing and have a good time.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but home if you've got a season ticket, you're interested in what the club are doing.
How can we turn it around? How can we make it so that, you know, that your home game, when you go at home, that's the day when you go
the only club I can think the only club I can think who do that is Palace.
Crystal Palace.
Palace have got that section behind the goal who are crazy.
It does look good. I must admit,
that's an unbelievable atmosphere they create.
Yeah,
but you know they're a minority in home fans. Do you know what I mean?
Organised.
But the fact that we're mentioning what a terrible atmosphere it was and how we're all disappointed is a sign of what they've achieved in the last 4 months. In that we're disappointed that was the atmosphere, whereas 4 months ago that was the atmosphere every home game, and we weren't talking about it. We weren't talking about it because it was the norm, like you say. Whereas this time, you know, we've lost at home to Millwall, which is a disappointing result in terms of where we've come over the last 3 months. But this is really the first time since Rowett's been there that we've had this sort of
It was, but it was a disappointing result, admitted. Yeah, right. It was a disappointing performance. And you know, couldn't get any bread.
No, well, bad day all right.
I've got some more bad news as well.
Go on.
Somebody might be coming in for a surprise visit.
When? Today?
Not today, no.
All right.
Shortly.
Yeah,
and that message has come from Doco.
Oh God, help!
Heaven forbid us.
Help. You've already written help.
So the camera will be on. From now on.
Oh dear, hide your lagers.
Yeah, hide it.
When's he coming in?
He's not saying.
He's not saying.
It's going to be a surprise.
Oh right, okay. Well, he dropped in at Christmas last time, didn't he? So Easter's the next day. He's not going to come dressed as a rabbit, sure.
And the Easter bunny.
Doco is the Easter bunny. Now that will be. I tell you what, Doco, you can come now. He's going to bring some Poundland liqueurs. You can come now, definitely. Bring him in, bring him down. Doco as the Easter bunny. Can you imagine it?
With the ears on.
Yeah, disappointing performance and a disappointing atmosphere.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. But what I would say is that every time this sort of things happened under Rowett so far, we've bounced back from it, and we've had a decent run then.
Well, we're playing second place Middlesbrough.
Yes,
they just had
I think that's you know, this could be the same as Derby. No matter how well we play.
Yeah.
If Middlesbrough are on, if Middlesbrough turn up, they're going to beat us. It's as simple as that.
We've had that extra rest.
Yes, mind you, they didn't exactly exert themselves against Arsenal. It wasn't the greatest performance on their behalf, but you know, and they're out the cup now, so their sole focus is on getting promotion now. So I think they'll be really.
I think they'll be there.
Of course, with half an hour to go, their manager bought off their two main strikers.
Yes, exactly.
I think shrewd move. I think he looked at it and thought, we're not going to win this. Let's get these guys off and rest their legs up.
Yeah.
And I think it was a clever move by him, to be honest. He's been slated on the radio on the way here today.
It's a bit of a shame for the FA Cup, really, isn't it? When, you know,
it is. But you put yourself in his position.
Realistically, you're not going to get. You're not going to score two goals at Arsenal the way Arsenal were playing. So yeah,
and please,
their focus is
please, if anybody from Birmingham City is listening to this or listens to this on podcast, do not ever buy 2 big flags for behind the goal. It is the most cringe-worthy thing going. Them Arsenal flags when they score. Goodness me.
They do it on the continent.
It is pathetic.
Yeah.
Get a grip.
I think there's other clubs do it now as well.
I know, it's just like...
Bill Hobber says 1 league loss every 4 or 5 games, then I'll take that.
I know. I think it was just the disappointment of the no-show for me, though. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We turned up a bit more in the second half, but I want to see a Blues team that gets stuck in. And it was Millwall as well. Come on, that's a disappointing thing for me as well.
Yeah, I think
it
so.
was Millwall.
Yeah, I think even Millwall.
And what did they bring? 230 fans with them.
Yeah. Poor, isn't it? Really?
230 fans. Why was the Metropolitan Police all over the George? We had Met police officers in the George.
Mm.
I mean, there was only 230 of them. You'd only need 1 steward for that lot, wouldn't you?
Mm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. As far as I know, they didn't cause any hassle.
No.
But I know there's been history there in the past. But on a Tuesday night, they're not going to bring many, are they? From down there. So
you don't know what's been heard on social networks or anything. Do you know what I mean?
It's a problem, isn't it?
Rumours going around and whatnot.
Ducko's pretty happy with the way things are going at the moment.
Well, I am.
You have to be, I think. I
am, but I think it was probably because I was in so much pain last Tuesday. And I turned up on I joked. I says I was in the George. I can't remember. I was speaking to Daniel Ivor. I think as long as we don't score any more than 4, I should be all right. Jumping up and down. And hey ho, never happened, did it?
When's he coming in?
No, I have spoken to Danny. He says he will try and sort some dates out.
That'd be good.
And he'll have a look at what he's doing over the next few weeks.
Yeah, because he lives down in London.
I don't know, to be honest.
He lives settled. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, there you go.
He's cool.
There you go. But thanks, Daniel. I did meet him. I did say I'd meet him a couple of matches ago in the George and buy the book off him, and I went and I couldn't find him. So he messaged me in the week saying if you're at the game, he says I'll be there. And he very kindly signed me a book, and I'm on page 40 currently. And do you know, Chris?
Okay.
This is probably the first book I've read since I was at school. I'm just not a reader person. You know what I mean?
Are there any pictures in it?
Cartoons, some very funny cartoons, right? And what I've vowed myself to do, normally I would go through and look at all the cartoons all the way through, but what I've vowed myself to do is to read it, and then when I come across a cartoon, have a little laugh at it, and they are the 3 that I've seen so far are very well drawn and very well funny. But if you haven't got yourself a book, I think it's 15 quid off Amazon. Go out and get it. Haircuts and League Cups. I think it's called League Cups and Haircuts, something like that.
Yes. Haircuts and cups or something.
And some very interesting insights as to the court case, and I've just sort of got into where Carson grew up and how he came to allegedly amass his fortunes
through cutting hairs.
Well, I mean, some of it is possibly plausible, Chris, to be perfectly honest with you, with the kind of clientele that he had along on his side.
Expensive haircuts.
Well, yeah, but he'd set them up in very very swish hotels where there were film stars and this, that, and the other. And of course, if a film star was having their hair cut, then he would charge the general public extra. They book them in, and they would then pay extra to have their hair cut next to a film star. So overall, you can see where he's made some money. And certainly in some of the early dealings he had on the stock market. I'm obviously, I'm not convinced where the 82 million came from, or why Blues was ever worth 82 million. But there you go. But it's probably still too early in the book for me to sort of say anything. And
how much is the book?
I think it's £15.
£15.
Yeah, I think it's 15 quid. But he very kindly brought one along, so thanks, Dan, for that. And I didn't realise it comes all the way up from.
No.
Yeah. Because
quality, top lad. Because he co-wrote it with a lad, a Spurs fan.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name, but.
No, I can't talk.
It's well written. The book is well presented. I don't like reading, but I've had a couple of 3 hours on it and done 40 pages so far. But I'm reading it quite slowly to try and take in. There's a lot of detail in there. A lot of financial detail and this, that, and the other. Yeah. And then I sort of skip back to a paragraph and then read it again and sort of kind of try and digest that bit. And, it's very good. I'm quite impressed with it.
Yeah.
And of course it's another piece of blues memorabilia, isn't it?
Well, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One for the future.
Yeah. Piece of the history.
One for the future. Yeah. So coming back to Wednesday night's game, then, mate, you might find a couple of 3 people coming up for a piece of bread.
Yes. Yeah. I'll keep a piece ready. Yeah.
Get me a Warburton's in. I don't mind. You know what I mean? Get a bit of butch on it.
Crusty bread and soup.
Crusty chips. Well, they do the crusty bread with the cookhouse in the bar next to me. They normally have a soup with that, but yeah.
You have to get out the bath to wee in the sink to get to that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. That would be a good idea, though, because you do the chips.
Docker says he'll be outside Villa Park on Saturday selling big cardboard arrows.
Oh, did you see that there?
Yeah,
the arrows.
Very funny.
That was very funny. Paddy Power organised that.
And Blue Hobbit is looking forward to see what Kierman has to offer.
Mm.
Yeah,
this is the new
Wigan centre half. Yeah,
Wigan centre half. Yeah.
Mm.
So is that a definite then? Have we?
Yeah, he's on loan now. Yeah,
Oh, right,
we've got him on loan. I think so.
Good.
Yeah.
I'll just get that up then.
And Docker's coming in as Frank the Rabbit.
Yes. So
from where? Sorry.
Off Johnny Darko.
What is Donnie Darko? Explain to me.
Oh, it's a film. It's a film.
You see, I just don't get time to watch films.
Donnie Darko
like that.
wasn't. No. It's a film from years ago, way before me. Way before. Well, I'm saying nothing. From a few years ago.
Dangerous too.
I've got my Peaky Blinder hat on. It's fully loaded. Yeah, dear. Sorry, I'm in my work clothes tonight, gents, but I'm going back to for another all-night in painting session tonight. That'll be in the Star in Utox. I should be sat in there all night, glossing away.
So what do you do? Like take sandwiches and a radio?
I'm going to go. I've got a great big fat jacket spud on the go from when I get back.
All right.
I'm going to have that with cheese and beans, which is the only way to have a jacket spud, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Cheese and beans has got to be the way forward on a jacket potato.
Chili.
No.
No.
Oh
God, I love chili.
So I'll neck that and a cup of coffee, and then I'll just go down and sit there and gloss away.
And then sleep tomorrow during the day. Or
no, I shall have a couple of hours in the morning and then back into another pub tomorrow at about 10 o'clock.
You must be a millionaire now.
I don't get paid till I finish up again. This is why I'm trying to get them done round the clock so I can get some dollars.
Are these like private pubs, like clubs, or
private pubs? Yeah.
Not like for the brewery or anything like that.
Nope. It's got 4 on the go at the moment, which is pretty good.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I know.
Fantastic. Good stuff.
And then I've got to go and have a look at a house. There's nothing to do with football, is it?
No.
It's interesting.
But it is interesting because I'm smothered in paint and covered and got me scruffy. Look at the quality trousers these are, Chris. Tell you what, I like these, mate. Bought them last week. Anyway, getting back to it. Good luck to GA on his move. Hope that all goes well. Look forward to seeing him next week.
Yes, he'll be back next week. Yeah.
Nats, I think, is coming in next week. Anyway,
That's coming in next week. Yeah. We've also got the Speedway show coming up soon as well.
Oh, when's that back?
It's coming up on, I think it's on the 5th of March. So
March
it's not far away.
March the 5th, and that's yourself and GA that present that one?
Yeah, myself, GA, and we may have another guest.
Oh, no names yet.
No names yet. We could be a big one.
A big one.
A big in Speedway terms.
Big in Speedway.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. That's all good. It's all good for sports
talking,
radio.
Talking. Oh, there's some good things coming up with sports radio. But can't say too much yet.
Can you say anything yet?
Nope.
Nothing at all?
Nope.
Not even a whisper?
Nope.
You sure?
I might tell you off air.
Off air. It's half time. Yeah, Rob Kiernan. Gary Rout has revealed he has been a long-time admirer of new signing Rob Kiernan and believes the on-loan Wigan man brings something extra to the Blues squad. I wonder if he'll start tomorrow.
I think he probably
Sorry,
will.
Wednesday, not tomorrow.
Wednesday, yeah.
He might do, yeah.
Push him
it's not a position we're flooded with options. Playing Spectre at centre back, and that's not his preferred position. So yeah, if he's brought him in, you'd expect him to go straight in. To be fair,
I think he will.
The 24-year-old moved to St Andrews last week on a deal until the end of the season. He has previously had a spell on loan under Rowett during his tenure at Burton Albion. I know Rob really well, and I watched an awful lot of him in the under-21s for Wigan, says Blues boss. He was a bit of an anomaly that he actually wanted to head the ball and be aggressive. He was a bit of a leader. He's good on the ball as well technically, and he's a good character. I remember speaking to Uwe Rosler, the former Wigan manager, when we played them at the start of the season in the Cup with Burton, and he said Rob had been the best centre-half at the club for the first 15 games of the season, but obviously with a change of manager everyone has different opinions. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
He looks the part anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah. That's pretty glowing reference from Rowett, so
In Rowett we trust.
That's it. Yeah, you got to trust him to bring in the players. He's had the chance to bring in a couple of players now, and Morrison looks good, and he brought him in. So
well, Morrison, we've just gone to Michael Morrison, Gavin Gunning and Matt Greening are all edging closer to a return, according to boss Gary Rowett. Morrison has been sidelined for the past 3 weeks with an ankle injury. He picked up at Sheffield Wednesday. Morrow is making good progress, and he is in a light strapping now, said Rowett. Early swelling still indicates some damage in there, so until that goes, Pete Shaw, Blues head physiotherapist, can't really progress him as quickly as he wants to. He's hoping that next week he can start some light work, and I think it's going to be as quickly as he can progress without any complications. Bought ourselves a little bit more time with the addition of Rob Kiernan, but we want Michael back as quickly as we can because he has been an integral part of what we've done. Yeah, good player. I do like him.
Yeah,
I do like him. Gav Gunning.
Sorry.
Gav Gunning and Matt Green have been out on the pitches running. They've got their trainers on now. Their trainers off now and their boots on. That's always nice to see. They're doing a little bit of ball work and are working really hard to get back fit. We are hoping that in maybe 3 or 4 weeks' time we might see them in an under-21s fixture.
They've been out for long-term injuries, haven't they? Gunning and Graham.
That's on the Blues wall, is it, Chris? So credit to the Blues wall for that information. Thank them very much. Author bcfc.com.
Fantastic.
Blues under-17s in the week. 2-0 down against B6. Came back 1-7-2.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
So I'd class that as quite a good comeback.
It's almost
positive.
It's almost playing Blackpool, isn't it?
I was going to say who's in charge of B6s under 17.
But absolutely brilliant to see them bounce back. It's certainly against them up the road. Anyway.
Yeah.
Come back and give them a walloping.
That's
walloping.
pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
News on Donnie Darko.
Who what? Sorry.
News.
Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Apparently Patrick Swayze plays a child molester in it.
Oh, great. So
Sounds a fun film, doesn't it?
So Doco is going to be running around dressed as Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, it's about
He's
right.
not going to make it here. You do
No,
know that.
no.
He's going to be in the back of a
I think
Black
as soon as we
Mariah.
see him on the cameras, I think
He's going to
that's
be in
it.
a Mariah, isn't he?
The lights are off.
Dear me.
This sounds a fun film. We'll have to make sure we don't let him in.
It's throwing me off where I was now. I can't remember what I was talking about.
We were talking about the injured players coming back in.
Yeah, then the under 17s.
Yes,
yeah.
But great to see, great to see such a good comeback as well.
Yeah,
2-0 down at half time against your closest rivals, and you're going to be thinking, oh no, and then come back and wallop 7 past them. Cracking, superb stuff. State of pitches over the weekend.
Yeah.
Namely Blackpool. And I think it was Bradford's as well, wasn't
Bradford, yeah.
What an horrendous mess.
It's a horror.
To try and play a game of football on.
Yeah.
Chris Brown has left the building.
Don't know why. Maybe he's in charge of Blackpool and Bradford's pitch.
Absolutely horrifying to even think that, this is... we've come so far technology-wise as far as press is concerned. It was reminiscent of what they would have on Star Soccer on a Sunday back in the 70s.
Yeah, it was really bad stuff. They're professional football clubs, the both of them. Surely your number one priority is to get a pitch that is suitable to play professional football on, and that they were nowhere near.
Apparently, the rules of the game just state that it has to be a flat surface.
Well, that's arguable.
I suppose it is,
with some of them. The way the ball was bobbling around.
All right, Chris.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
When you've got to go, You've got to go.
It's
nature
true, that
board.
is.
Nature
You
board,
couldn't
I'm
wait.
afraid.
You
No,
couldn't wait another 4 minutes till half time.
I tried. I've been looking about 25 minutes. Or can I just say hello to people from internetradio.com who've joined us today as well.
Internetradio.com. Welcome.
Here we are.
Welcome.
On
Welcome.
their, on
Friends
their
of the show.
Yeah, friends of the show.
Friends of the show. Who are internetradio.com? Talk to me.
It's a directory. It's a directory of internet radio stations.
Righty-ho.
So we joined that today.
So we joined that today.
Yeah.
Does it have a league like the other one used to?
No, not really.
No.
No.
Okay.
No. It's just a directory.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd just like to make another point. Not professional, obviously, but I went to see Blues Ladies Development Side on yesterday.
How old would these guys be?
These girls, the Blues Ladies.
I use that as a generic term.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Yeah.
They're most of them are under 19s, under 18s. There's a couple of the girls who have been in and around the first team squad who were involved, but the pitch they had to play. They play at Hollyfields. I don't know if anybody knows that Hollyfields Sports Social Club in Erdington, and the pitch is absolutely terrible considering that the league is called a development league. How any of those players are supposed to develop a technical ability on that pitch is beyond me. It's not good enough at all on both. You know, both sets of players trying to play football and learn to play and learn to develop as a team on that sort of pitch. It's pretty awful, to be fair. But there's no money in it, unfortunately, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the alternatives are. So.
Going back to the grassroots issues with the Premier League and all the money that's been poured in, over TV rights and one thing or another. Again, this week is it 5.163 billion pounds or something ridiculously stupid like that. And your kids have to play on mud.
Yeah, and it was.
Mind you, having said that, Bradford and Blackpool play on mud.
Well, yeah. So, it wasn't too dissimilar to Blackpool's actually, but.
Bit of strange breaking news just coming in, Chris. We've just picked this one up on the computers. A warning that fan abuse helped the Davids quit Birmingham. Were it not for the fact that Sullivan and David Gold love West Ham for their lives, I could see them walking away from Upton Park after the events of Saturday evening, and I'm not being melodramatic. History tells us many things, that the type of mob rule that we saw that saw David Sullivan cornered and abused outside the Hawthorns was precisely the type of behaviour that helped lead the duos depart from Birmingham City. That was a year on from relegation 2005-2006 when Birmingham fans went completely crazy, tearing down goalposts, abusing the players and owners in one of the worst examples of lunatic football behaviour ever. I don't think that was the worst.
No, not a patch. It was about 20 of them.
The team had also suffered a 7-0 home defeat to Liverpool in the FA Cup quarter-final. On that same night, the club's relegation on those shameful scenes, the club's end-of-season dinner was being held. And because of the quite shocking behaviour and abuse directed at him, David Sullivan failed to turn up and David Gold was left to man the fort. I was covering Midlands football for national newspapers at the time and had come to know David Gold well. I remember him saying to me very sadly, after that, I don't think we can go on. Approximately a year later, they left Birmingham City. The money helped, of course, but the depth of hurt in David Gold's eyes is a memory I've carried with me to lesser or greater degrees since that time. The scenes on Saturday may have been on a smaller scale, but in some respect made them worse. The threatening behaviour of David Sullivan, the sexual abuse of Karen Brady, the disgusting language in general, as the co-chairman attempt to make peace is horrifying ex-certificate stuff. Not a clue what went on, have you?
Not a clue what went on.
So apparently there was some sort of crowd disorder at the West Ham after the West Brom game, and I think what they're trying to say is that
how many people?
Well, I don't think
whether it's two or three. Whether it's two or three, that's not right. It's not right to do it.
But I don't think that they left because of the fan abuse.
For goodness' sake, it's David Gold and David Sullivan.
I think it had something to do with it, Chris, but there were obviously...
They are hard-nosed businessmen.
It's not.
I've been to David Gold's house in Surrey. His mansion in Surrey with his 16-hole golf course as his back garden. These are hard-nosed businessmen. Yeah. What 20 people are shouting to them outside the Hawthorns is going to make no difference to them
They
whatsoever.
they money
sold
signed,
Blues because
and they made a lot of
Carson
money.
Young made
Yeah.
£80 million offer.
Yeah.
That's why they sold Blues.
Yeah.
And if somebody offers $100 million for West Ham, they'll probably sell West Ham
Also
and
will,
go
yeah.
and do something else with
And
them.
they'll be off to Cardiff.
Okay, so we'll carry on reading then. Because it was at such a smaller scale, it was so much more personal and not easily forgotten by the recipient. That will be what will be the fallout
Honestly.
from this. The first should be that every single individual involved in the attack, for that is what it was, on David Sullivan, should sit down and write a personal letter of apology to the man.
Can I ask who's wrote this?
We'll come to it in a minute. In the
I'll tell you
absence
in a
of that, I hope that the
Is
club
it David
draws on-
Sullivan's mother?
Yeah. I hope that the club draws on all of its resources possible to hunt these people down and to land them with club bans. If a guy can be taken to court for running on the pitch and taken a drunken free kick earlier in the season, these morons should be run out of our club. So it's obviously a West Ham supporter
Right.
that's
Yeah.
reading it. Like every person who has contributed to the forums, both here and on the Claret Hugh Facebook group, I feel sickened and ashamed that these people are members of our football club, and whatever action the club takes against them, if any, we are ready to offer any help from anyone here who may recognise any of those involved. And if I think we scroll to the top, Chris, we should find
Yep.
who's written that. This is posted by Hugh. It looks like Hugh Southton,
Yeah.
1895. On February the 16th.
I believe he's a
Whispers.
former newspaper man.
In
So.
Whispers. And there is a picture of David Sullivan there. Looking,
Is he
looking
crying?
Very Russian.
He is, isn't he? Yeah.
Looking
yeah.
very Russian.
We have got some more.
Absolutely, that's an astonishing piece. That is to
More
try
than-
and claim that the likes of Golden Sullivan are going to be hounded out of a club by
Unbelievable.
20 or 30 West Ham fans that stayed behind afterwards.
Unbelievable.
Honestly, I've never heard anything
I was
like
going to
it.
say, where it's just gone. hasn't
It
it?
has flown by.
I won't get the whistle out. It's
No.
just too long, was it? But, yep, here we go. See you in a bit.
You're gonna get it, you're gonna get it now. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna show you how. I'm gonna race
Welcome back
it.
to the Tilton Talk Show Monday evenings, right through till 9 o'clock. We might not make it all the way till 9, I don't know. Who cares? We're just loose and easy here, aren't we?
Yeah, I've heard you're easy.
Juan Carlos Garcia, the young 26-year-old Wigan player, best wishes go out to him. He's in hospital currently, being diagnosed with leukemia today, so obviously best wishes from all concerned.
Another youngster as well.
I know, yeah.
25.
I know. It seems so prevalent in football as well, doesn't it? That that quite a lot of footballers seem to get this blood cancer.
Blue
20,
Arbor
26.
Oh, it's 26.
26,
Oh,
yeah.
Still no age, is he?
No.
Still no age. Yeah, Blue Arbor says it's gone quiet over there. Has it gone quiet because we want to forget because we're doing so well
Where do you mean?
in
sorry?
Hong Kong?
I don't know. I can't quite make out why it's gone so. It's gone
I
definitely
think,
quiet. hasn't
yeah, I think because we're doing okay on the pitch,
We've
but
got our
people have
fingers
got
in our
things
ears.
to
haven't
talk
we?
about. Yeah, we've got things to talk about. Like we're doing okay up until recently. A push for the playoffs or whatnot.
it? But now Carson Young's got his appeal. I think is it next month? March? Is it all May?
I'm not
Is
sure.
it?
Oh, it'll all come back. It's not going to go away.
No.
But while we're doing okay on the pitch, I think it is better that we can talk about that rather than speculate on what's happening over there. 'Cause that's all it would be, wouldn't it? Speculation. We're not going to find out details until people want us to find out.
But Gary still seems to be doing a little bit of business. He's been looking at this guy called Keith Lujak.
Keith Lujak.
Okay, how do you spell it?
Unknown to me.
Can we scroll up a little one, Chris? And
There it is. Keith
K-E-E-S, Keith
Keith.
and Luijckx. Never heard of him myself.
No.
So it looks like Gary wrote it's hinted that Birmingham City will not be following up on Keith Lujak's recent trial with the club. The former Roda JC defender spent last week at West Hills and played in a behind closed doors development game against Oxford United. However, while Rowett didn't conclusively rule out taking things further, the Blues boss suggested he was looking for more of a sure thing for the rigours of the Championship football.
Hence
He
why
came-
Rob Kiernan's come out.
Yeah, he came and did quite well in the under-21 game, but I just felt as though I almost needed to be blown away by someone coming in from Europe. With one injury I would need to guarantee they could handle the championship, Rowett said, so it looks like that's...
yeah.
I didn't know we had anybody. I didn't know we had him over.
Curtains for keys.
Well,
Looks like it, yeah.
Curtains for keys.
he won't be getting the keys to the door, will he?
Right, competition time. We had 2 people get the Fulham away result right, but they were a couple of thousand off on the attendance, so we won't even bother going back there. And it's Borough at home up on Wednesday, 7:45 kick-off under the lights. Somebody will be shoveling the 50s in the metre as quick as they possibly can.
Yeah.
Me, I should just be looking for some bread. Bread.
You know where to come.
Chris, right, okay, go on then. Now this is Borough, the second in the league.
Yeah. Well, I'm pessimistic at the best of times. So
I can see it in your face.
When we're playing second place Middlesbrough, I think we'll do well to score. But I'll say we will. So I'll go 1-3.
1-3 to Middlesbrough.
Yeah, and 16-400.
Well, I'm going to be pessimistic as well. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Middlesbrough.
0-2.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be close to 16. I'll go, Borough will bring quite a few, so I'll go 16,800.
Blue Hobber is on the shout box.
Yep, he's gone for a 1-1.
He's gone for a 1-1. That's very optimistic.
15,425.
15,425.
And Docky's gone the same.
He's also gone for 1-1.
Slightly lower crowd of 14,740.
Right, okay. Me. 2-1 to the Blues.
You're both laughing. You look.
He's both laughing. Why is it? Why is it? Look, I've allowed you to have your predictions without laughing.
No.
Yeah? Why is it?
Is it your heart or your head?
That's certainly not his head.
No, exactly.
Look, bear in mind, I'm doing 2 48-hour shifts here nearly.
Yeah.
Right.
It's obviously getting to you,
I want that win. Yeah. I want that win. This wins for me. Right, just me personally now.
Yeah.
Right.
If we do, I mean that would be a
14,942. Can't see it being 16 or 16.8.
Okay.
I can't. There was only 14 odd at the Millwall game, weren't there? Middlesbrough's
I think Borough will bring more than Millwall.
Yeah.
Well, they are second, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is Wednesday night. It's a
maybe,
long way to go. Okay, I'll leave that with you. Just make sure you got bread.
I'll try my best.
Bread. That's all you got to do.
They've always travelled well, though, haven't they, from the northeast?
Yeah. Like you say, second in the table, though.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 draws. Docker and Blue Hobber. 2 away wins, yourself and yourself. I'm not even going to mention your names. And there's only me having the faith to go for the win. Am I mad?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But like Chris said, the Watford game and the Forest game and the Cardiff game before that, we managed to pull it out then. But I think I said it at the start of the season. I think there's a few teams in this league who are just if they turn up, they're going to beat the rest of the league. And I think Derby were, and I think these are similar.
But you used a word right at the beginning of that sentence, and it was only a 2-letter word, and it was if.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the magic of football. If they don't turn up and we have a good game, then we can beat them. We can make life difficult for them.
Yeah, so that would be a good win if we could. Get
I think that would be the win of that would be the biggest result of the season if we beat.
We'll go back up to 11th if we take that one.
Yeah.
So 13th currently. I think we're 8 points off relegation.
I still think that's the way you want to look.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think you can.
Yeah,
personally, I think you can forget playoffs. I think that top 6 now are really.
Yeah,
but I think they're a step above everybody else. Well, Brentford are the classic example of a team doing so well. And then something gets leaked about the manager possibly leaving in the summer, and they've lost their last 2 games. And players are only human. If you're employed by a company and you hear and your boss is there and you enjoy working for that boss, then you're going to be doing well. If you all of a sudden hear that he's going,
Yeah, it just feels
you're down tools.
Yeah, I think things
You're
like
down
that.
tools.
It just
Yeah,
filters down
I think
to-
you
yeah,
do.
yeah,
It's
just
a
to the
natural
players.
reaction.
Or do you wait and find out who your next boss is going to be?
Well, yeah, but then you work hard when your next boss is in.
But why don't you work hard now?
Because this is the
Because-
perfect.
and
This is
then-
this
and then-
is
and
the
then
time to
prove-
down your tools.
I don't know.
I think it's a natural reaction, and I think it's happened with so many clubs.
Perhaps it's because I work for myself that I don't down tools.
Possibly,
You know what I mean?
yeah, because you can't down tools.
And another thing is these are kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know the way these players played
I'm not
under
so old myself,
Rosler.
if you don't mind.
These players played under Rosler, did well under him, got promoted under Warburton, the current manager. You know, they've done so well this season, and they've rode like we have in essence under Rowett. They've riding the wave of momentum that's got them here,
Well,
and then it's
talking of momentum,
destabilised.
Blue Obba's written, I think if we win tomorrow, that's Blues safe.
Yeah.
And then he's reiterated, safe as in taking momentum forward.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Right, so
absolutely. Well, nothing could give you confidence more than beating a side like Middlesbrough,
No. No.
especially after the Millwall result.
But you don't have any confidence.
No, not in.
Based on your prediction.
It's not my lack of confidence in Blues.
And
it's-
you don't have any confidence
No,
based on your prediction.
I just think Middlesbrough.
I think yeah.
I think Middlesbrough will
I
turn
think we'll
up.
give us. I think we'll give as good as we can give. But
I don't think we'll be as bad as we were
No.
against Millwall.
Docker's asking you a question. He said, does Chris Pugh think that Brentford have shot their bolt and the second half of the season will see them fade and Blues can take them at stands?
I think I was really impressed with Brentford. Impressed with
And
the way they
everything they
played.
do, yeah.
They're a club that everybody should look to. The way
you
they
been
were
there?
going.
I've been there.
I have not recently.
I've been once. That was at the Leyland Duff.
The cup. Oh yes, I was there as well. Yeah, I was there. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a great night. Yeah,
£92
What-
my ticket cost.
yeah.
Wasn't that? I wasn't that old to go to that one, but yeah. Referring back to Doco, I think they were going so well, and then for a club to allow that news to be released about your manager possibly leaving. If you have had a disagreement with the manager, if you are looking at other managers just in case your manager gets, just keep it in house. Don't let everybody know. Because you just look at what's happened. I can't see it as any coincidence. And to answer his question, it wouldn't surprise me if they went on a bit of a bad run now, because they are players who did well in League One, who have excelled themselves in this league. Yeah. I probably would back us.
Yeah.
Because
Fine,
these
Tom.
players have now got to fight. We talk about momentum. What's such a massive word in this league, especially in this league. You look at Leeds, won their last 2 games, and they've shot from like 19th above us.
Yeah.
By winning 2 games, that just shows what this momentum can do. And when you lose it, and everybody else is picking it up behind you.
Now that is one of the scary things that I have about Blues at the moment, is that we have gone off the honeymoon period a little bit.
Well, we were. You say that we were 6 games unbeaten in the league before Millwall.
I know.
I know there's a lot of draws in there.
I still look at that abject performance from last Tuesday, and it's sort of really sticking in my head at the minute.
Well, it would do, and also because it was such a poor performance, and we have been used to such poor performances over the last 2.5 years. You know that group of players is capable of going on a bad run, because they have done.
They're also capable of going on a very good run.
Exactly, under Rowett, and that's going to be Rowett's job now, is to say to them,
Pick them up.
like he did after the Derby defeat, and we won at Forest, like he did after the Blackpool defeat, and we went and won. We won our next game. I can't remember who it was against them, but that's what he needs to do now. He needs to draw a line under that Millwall defeat.
Oh, I'm sure he will do.
Prepare properly for not only Borough, but we've got Brighton at the weekend as well. That's a big game.
Yeah.
And that's where these games are going to come thick and fast now towards the end of the season.
And Blue Hobber's making a very valid and correct point.
It's true
here.
as well. This is.
We still seem to be put in better performances away from home, and did so under Lee Clark.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the pressure's off.
Do you think it's
when you're away from home?
Away from home as well.
Possibly. It's a mixture, isn't it?
But then we had a full house against Fulham and
Full house against Derby.
Derby,
and got beat, and full house against West Brom, and were 2-0 down after 40 minutes or whatever it was. So, yeah, I just think for certain teams,
funny old game, mate.
Yeah, exactly. For certain teams, especially Blues, who under Rowett have got used to soaking up the pressure and hitting teams on the counter attack, we're just more suited to playing away from home, I think.
Doc is saying I don't think the honeymoon period is over yet. Next season will be the true test. Rowett gets the money and the players he needs, and if we can make real progress in the Championship.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the summer when it...
Yeah. So we're basically
comings and
calling
goings,
this...
of
Well,
course.
yeah, of course, yeah.
So we're basically saying this is like a bed... This
playing
is
staff and boardroom.
This is like a bedding in period.
Yeah, well, I think it still is. I think
Yep.
you can't say to a manager you've got 3 months... After 3 months, everything should be in place as to how you want it. You can't say that. He's had...
Well, if we look across the city, Sherwood has said today that, Jeremy Kyle...
Yeah.
He said today that he hasn't got a long-term plan.
Well, but that's different. I'd hope he would have, because he's been given a 4-year contract.
Three, is it? Three.
So is it 3? Sorry.
Yeah,
so,
2018.
but that's a let's not get carried away. That's a massive club who have just appointed a young English manager on a 3-year contract,
who's had 28 games in the Premier League.
Yeah, and a lot of...
Do we think that was a really strange appointment?
If you ask Tottenham fans what they think of
hate
Sherwood,
him,
they don't like him. They didn't like what he did at the club.
The players didn't like him that much either.
Well, he alienated a lot of that group, but the difference is that was a group of big egos on big money, and he alienated a lot of them because he dropped them and he made it public that he wasn't going to play them, etc. I remember Sandro. Paulinho, after they lost at Chelsea, and he slaughtered them.
Because, I said at Tottenham he inherited a good side.
Yes, he did. He did inherit a good side. He inherited a big squad.
The next few weeks is going to be very interesting because
I think they've. Unfortunately, I think they've timed it absolutely perfectly. I think they've got rid of Lambert at exactly the right time. They've got Stoke at home, Newcastle away, Swansea at home, West Brom at home.
All losable.
They've got all losable, but perfect games for a new manager to come in, wipe the slate clean, and say to because they've got a better squad than Hull, they've got a better squad than Burnley, they've got a better squad than QPR. Whether you like it or not, that I do think they have.
This goal drought, 12 goals in the season.
It's pathetic,
terrible,
but
brilliant, but terrible.
Yeah, but you just need to. I mean, the link between us and them. You look at what happened with us. We lost. The game before Rowett come in, we lost 8-0 at home to Bournemouth, and we're sitting 23rd. We are the perfect example of what they need to do.
Yeah.
And I think they've gone down exactly the same route. They've sacked him at the right time, and they've got a decent run of games coming. They've appointed a young English manager who's got so much to gain, but not a lot to lose.
Interesting point here from Blue Arbor. I would say the appointment was probably a month late, as the January window is now shut. Yesterday they played a lot of sideways football. You got to bear in mind, but they did play Leicester yesterday as well, didn't they?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not a great side. Yeah, they're an average side. What he says about the transfer window, I don't think they were planning on spending anything in the transfer window anyway.
Is Nigel Pearson still there?
Well, Nigel Pearson is still there.
Is he?
Yeah, bless him.
The madman.
Bless him.
How he got away with that, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, whether he did it as a joke or not.
Looking at
Can you imagine if Mourinho would have done that? Could you imagine what would have happened had Jose Mourinho grabbed an opposing player by the throat, whether it was jokey or not? The media would have had an absolute field day, and he's got off scot-free with it.
Doco says, what pub are we meeting in Witten next season? All of them, Doco. All of them. But I don't know. It's listening on. They've obviously had a lot of airtime on radio.
They have had a lot of airtime everywhere.
And even on TalkSport, and I had TalkSport on for a while this afternoon, and there seems to be very mixed reactions coming out of the camp. Certainly from the currently 0-0 Preston Manchester United, by the way, half time. That's a pretty good.
That's a good game.
Hang on
That
there
is,
for
yeah,
Preston
that's quite
North
good,
at the moment, isn't it? Yeah. So there seem to be, a lot of disgruntled fans and a lot of happy fans. There didn't seem to be any kind of overwhelming.
Well, I think it has to be better than it was after they lost at Hull.
When Gary came into the Blues, I really didn't know anything about his style of management.
Yes.
I thought great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I live near Burton-on-Trent,
Yeah.
so you obviously keep up slightly, but
Yeah.
you don't really pay vast amounts of interest to it. And I actually genuinely thought it was going to be a backwards move for us. I'll be honest with you. There we go. That's me. There you go. Bands in the air.
Did you really?
I really did. I really did. Internally, I didn't
How could
say
you have
it.
a backwards move from where we were?
Backwards
That's
move.
the thing.
Well, there was a guy coming in, right, with 3 other people that had played for the club, and I didn't see it working. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just didn't see it.
Sometimes it doesn't.
But it, thankfully it has. And it looks like at the moment that it's not assured, but safety for next season. We seem to at least be a championship club for next season.
We're certainly in a better position than we were before we came in.
I can't believe that, man.
No.
That was a mess, wasn't it? It was a
Yes, it was a horror.
Going back to Nigel Pearson.
Can you imagine how I'd have felt now if we'd have still been down there and I'd have had no bread last week? Seriously.
Going back to Nigel Pearson, what was the outcome? He wasn't
even
All
charged.
before the FA?
Nothing.
No.
Absolutely nothing. Which is what shocked me, because Mourinho, he goes on about this Chelsea hatred of Chelsea by the FA and the media and this witch hunt. There isn't a witch hunt, and they're not biased against Chelsea. But then when you see things like this happen, and you imagine what would have happened if it would have been Mourinho holding down a Man United player's throat or whatever.
Yeah, the rules are a little bit inconsistent, because
They
it
are.
actually
They have
to me
been.
it looked aggressive.
At first, I thought that's really bad.
I've seen other shots where it looks pretty like.
But then why didn't the referee send him off as well?
Yeah.
Because if a player had done that to another player on the pitch,
Well, the way he
What
held
about
it, the play's going on, the game was going on, and he's holding him back, stopping him getting on the pitch
play
as
was
well.
actually going on.
Yeah, the game
But
was
the
going on
offence was actually on the pitch.
on the sideline.
sidelines,
Yeah, but not only has he held him down by his throat, after he's got up, he's held onto his arm to stop him going back
pull his shirt back,
as the game's going on. And like you said, that'd be a yellow or red card for a player.
Red card, straight red for a player, without a doubt.
It's very questionable.
Did you see the lad from Derby get sent off as well?
Yes,
In their game,
yes.
didn't he? First
I
game.
thought that was nasty. That was.
His first game.
Yeah.
Talking of shirts, I saw somebody in a very, very, very old blue shirt.
How old?
It was the Mark one with the.
I got with that one.
Oh yeah.
Is it the square there?
Yeah, the square. Yeah.
I've got about 30 odd, I think.
Yeah.
30 odd. Many of them signed.
Okay. Yeah.
What was the worst one? What was the worst?
Oh,
What's the worst ever blues
that
one?
thing that they spackled paint on.
Yeah.
That's the one I was
yellow
thinking of.
dots,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
or whatever
special
it was,
second
yeah.
paint.
I never ever want to see a picture of
Yeah.
that image is burnt into my eyes. Burnt
There
into
was
my eyes forever.
Yeah, that's right. There's quite a few clubs at the same time are doing that. And the Arsenal,
just
the Arsenal ones
horrendous,
at the time. Oh,
That was-
80s.
and then was it Manchester United caused a bit of an uproar about it? Was it a grey?
Yeah,
yeah,
that
that's
was.
right,
They
yeah,
blamed
yeah.
that on the
Yeah.
losing at Southampton. Yeah.
Yeah.
They changed them at half
Shirts,
time.
shirts that's your identity, you know what I mean? It's like, and then you go back to like how Cardiff, how tan, changed from blue to red. Could you imagine that happening at St Andrews?
It would never happen.
No, could you imagine it happening at St Andrews? Seriously?
I say it would never happen, but
You
it's
say it'd never happen.
It's
No,
money.
you'd struggle to find more passionate fans than Cardiff.
Yeah, that's right. They are.
And if an owner wants to come in and do it, and he's willing to, and he says, "Here's 10 million, let me change the shirts," bloody hell, you're going to
Yeah.
struggle to say no.
That's
With
right,
the way money's going.
Here's the thing, talking about them up the street again, right? Sorry, because Docky's just put a little point on here. The difference between Gary Rout and Jeremy Kyle, that's going to be his name from now on. I do hold the claim to calling him that, by the way. It was about 3 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, I called him Jeremy Kyle. Rowett cut his teeth in lower league football, got his own team of backroom staff, and when he came to the Blues, he knew what he had to do, whilst Kyle, has only limited experience, cannot bring any new players in, and has to work with what he's got. The point that I'm going to raise from
Good
this
point.
is is there a Premier League loan window open now?
No.
Don't
You've got you've got now with the Premier League.
Hasn't he got a lot of players coming back from injury though? I think
He's got some, yeah. I just think, a fresh manager with fresh ideas. It's not like he's gone in to Blues who had we've got a threadbare squad, and we were playing terribly, and we've not got good players. Do you know what I mean? They've got good players. They were just so, you could just see in every performance, they were so lacking in confidence. Whatever Lambert was saying to them, they had nothing. They were, they didn't want to show anything.
Slit him a wrist every time he was on TV.
Yeah,
a bit like the Lee Clark kind of scenario.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly the same.
Looking down,
mumbling his words, struggling to,
he was
so incoherent.
I couldn't understand what he was saying.
Especially after the whole defeat, his last game, that interview was such a beaten man,
wasn't it?
An interview with a really, you could tell he just felt beaten in everything. But sometimes it just needs a change of manager, and those players will step it up. And like I said, or not, they might be so ingrained into what they've done over the last year and a bit that they might not be able to get out of it.
And all it will take is a Benteke strain on a muscle or 3 weeks out on the sidelines and. Hey ho! I know we shouldn't really be talking about them, but it's obviously been quite interesting news this week. Watching it all unfold, especially when the bed sheets came out again.
Yes,
that was nice. Yeah, it's always nice to see them back.
Yeah. They're going to rename it the Dunelm Stadium. Docker says there would be a riot if we changed from blue. Perhaps not a riot, but it would certainly be an uproar.
There was an uproar at Cardiff, and it took them a year and a bit to change it back.
And Docker also says I read an article last night that other clubs would not touch Jeremy Kyle. They saw him as too much of a I think it was a liability. And no one would take the poison chalice. At Villa Park.
There's an element of truth there, isn't there?
Well, he was favourite. He was favourite for the West Brom job, and then Pulis got it. He was favourite for. He was linked with the Palace job.
In West Brom's situation, they would rather have had Pulis
of course,
than
and then he was.
Jeremy.
When Redknapp left QPR, I expected him to just walk straight in Sherwood. With the Spurs backroom staff that they've got. Les Ferdinand and Chris Ramsey. I'd have thought
what they could get.
I'd have thought he'd walk straight into QPR. But maybe
being a London boy as well.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe we should look into that and think, why did QPR not get him? Why is he not at QPR now? Who are a club in the same position as the Villa?
It's all looking a bit tight down there, isn't it?
It's looking like a good appointment.
I just wish it was the last day of the season.
Do you know what their last game of the season is?
No.
Burnley at home. That could be. The
both in claret and blue. Writings on the wall, in it.
But that could be the winner stays up game. That could, the way things are going. Very tight.
Let's have a look at those all-important results.
God knows what would have happened to our lows if Lee Clark had been in charge at Blythe Spartans. You could put your money on it; they would have shown it live.
Yes.
So true.
Does it? It's making me stutter. Does it bear thinking about? Really?
No, not really. No.
And I support. And I Chris, did I always defend the bloke? Always. I always defended him.
Always.
Because he was Birmingham City manager, and I always will, no matter who, no matter what. But I certainly like, apart from last Tuesday, the style of play that Gary's brought. I like his ethos, I like his interview style. There's nothing that I don't like about the guy. See him stood upright, very straight as he's stood in his technical area there, and there's nothing that I don't like.
And his backroom staff, which we don't really talk too much about.
No, that's it's a team, isn't it?
Be doing a job there.
It is a team.
I'm going to find out if Mark's mum and dad still live in the village next door to where I live, and if they do, I'm going to pop a little note through the door and ask Mark to see if Mark can get Mark in. Or not. He's a big tall lad. Mark is. And obviously he went through the mill, had cancer as well, didn't he? So and then had to give up, but. Was he there at the time with that spackled shirt?
He must have been round
He
about
was around about that time,
yeah,
wasn't he?
it
Yeah.
must have been. Wasn't it the Mark Dennis era?
Yeah,
Was it before
yeah.
then? Yeah.
The speckled shirt. It'll always be known as that from now on. I don't think I have one in my collection, to be honest with you, Chris. I don't think I do.
It was the Crazy Gang era, wasn't it?
It was,
wasn't
yeah. They were
And
nutters.
we
Like
had a
80s.
Crazy Gang.
You
Yeah.
tell Nick to. I was the first one to come up with the joke. No, you weren't the first one to come up with the Jeremy kind of joke. I think I'll argue.
Fight!
Yeah.
Fight!
Can you imagine a fight in your street?
Yeah.
In your street, right? Between me
And a
and
bunny.
some bunny rabbit.
We should do that for charity, really, shouldn't we? Yeah, we should put it on YouTube.
Oh, dear me. I'm not dressing up though, Chris. I'll come in with work clothes.
No, don't dress up, please. Please don't dress up.
No, I won't. It's not my forte.
Just have a quick look.
Are you going to the game on Wednesday, Chris?
On Wednesday night? No, I won't be going Wednesday night, no.
You know?
No, I've got a prior engagement on Wednesday nights, I'm afraid. But I shan't be far away. So maybe a few metres away from Birmingham City.
Where?
Not far away.
Just a few metres away.
Just a few metres away.
In the George Hammer session.
No. Can't say too much.
Can't say too much. Said too much already.
Said too much already.
Said too much already.
Still 0-0 at Preston Man United.
Right, okay. That's surprising, actually. I thought Preston would at least be winning by now.
Yeah. It's all those long balls they're playing.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
No, I put up on my Twitter and my Facebook account last night, right? And I've been watching little bits of the rugby. Right, and I'm going off tack here at the minute.
Yeah.
I don't understand all the rules, and the balls are funny shape, and I hated the game at school. End of. Right, that's me and rugby. But what I did notice was the crowd. Now, I always like when there's a national game, and I like to, if I'm not going to be really interested in the games, I do like the build-up and then the national anthems. Yeah. How they played the national anthems at the Scotland-Wales game, there was none of these, no disrespect, bimbo singers. Right,
Wow.
They played the national anthem
Passion that was.
through the band on the pitch, which is how it should be at all times. All right, and they played the Welsh national anthem, which was honoured impeccably by the Scottish fans, and then they played the Scottish national anthem, which was sung incredibly well. They both sung incredibly well, actually, and was honoured impeccably by the Welsh fans. Now, that doesn't happen in football. Football's got an awful lot to learn from rugby. Yeah, and we need to get when Mr. Brace is in, we'll have a little bit of a conversation with him on this one. So I put up on my Facebook account last night, do you think that we should change our national anthem
I've said this
from
plenty of time.
God Save the Queen, which lasts all of
Definitely.
about 9 seconds,
Definitely.
to Jerusalem?
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
Yeah,
And I even put
Jerusalem,
a link up to a YouTube version of Jerusalem, and I got very little reaction. I was really surprised. I thought, actually, because I mean, there's like 2,500 on my Facebook account, and I don't know, 1,500 on my Twitter, right? And I'd have thought it would have pulled in a little bit. That's all I was after, was a reaction from it. And there was just a couple of people that says, "Oh no, leave it as it is," or even a Welsh guy says, "Yeah, you should change it." And yeah, and I'm talking about like passion, values, and this and that, because it was just a daft rant that I had.
Yeah.
And I thought that I'd get a lot more reaction out of people than it actually did, and it got very little. So there you go. Preston have scored, Blue Hobber says.
Yeah, I can't find it on the ticker.
I'm sure Blue Hobber's absolutely right, because he usually is. So we'll take that as Preston 1, Manchester United 0.
And Sale signed for Blues in 1992.
92. Oh, that's when the shorts were really short, weren't it?
It's a long time ago.
And I will not be dressed as a daffodil, as they want me to.
Yeah. Oh, please.
Please, Doctor. I'm sure you could make the effort.
For charity.
Charity, it's for charity.
For charity.
Yeah, so having said that...
confirmation there.
Confirmation
it is
Yeah,
1-0 to
yeah,
Preston,
1-0
so
to
that's...
Preston. That is...
That's
I mean, so that will be a Preston-Arsenal
Quarter-final.
quarter-final.
And it did flash up 1-0.
What on
there
earth?
it is. There we go. 1-0.
What on
I bet
earth
they're
is
going
going on?
Scotland,
absolutely mental up there. I bet the roof is lifting off that place there tonight. And
I do, as much as it's nice for the cup, I can never bring myself to support Preston after the playoff semi-final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That losing on penalties, that is it 2000-ish.
Yeah. There was an early goal in this game, needed moments after Scott Laird was almost played in those scores. So Scott Laird has been confirmed as a scorer for that one. Runs on to Joe Garner's pass, it's early, takes a deflection off the toe of Antonio Valencia's boot and goes right through David De Gea.
That's also quite a good subject, which we'll have to talk about another week. People who support two teams, because that really gets them.
Well,
anyone in a Blues shirt.
Capo, Blues
It's quite
and
a few.
Celtic.
Yeah, it's quite a few
Blues and
people.
Celtic.
How the hell
Anyone in a Blues
can
shirt.
you support two teams?
Abroad, I can sort of understand.
Supporting them, yeah.
You know, if you I follow Real Madrid. I went there like a couple of weeks ago, didn't I? And saw a game.
It's not your team, though.
No, but that's not my team.
Yeah.
But I'll follow their results and I want them to do well.
I went to the new camp.
Yeah.
Only because I was in Barcelona.
Yeah.
And the new camp was there.
go
And I thought, well, I may as well go and have a photo session while I'm there. Do this, do that. And I was asked by the very pretty lady on the entrance. They charged. It cost me as much to get in there as it was a Blues game.
Yeah.
Just
well,
for a visit.
yeah, it was €19.
And
Real Madrid,
yeah. So she said to me, she said, "Do you like Barcelona?" I went, "No," in exactly that kind of voice. No. I don't know. Why should I? Why could I? How could I? I couldn't. I couldn't.
I think if blue blood
Have
is
you
in
ever
your
been?
veins,
All right, here you go,
it's in your
Chris. Have
veins.
you ever been to? I mean, got 4 minutes left. Have you ever been to another game apart from when Birmingham City have been playing?
When I was very, very young, but no, not really. No, not really.
You obviously have.
Yeah.
Many.
Real Madrid.
When I was at school, I went to see Oxford versus Cambridge at Wembley. School trip.
Right. Okay. Well, it's a school trip. That's acceptable.
Yeah.
For a school trip.
Yeah.
But no.
Internationals. I've
Gotta
been
be honest,
to.
even on TV, I can't watch. I'm not very good at watching internationals or
No,
cup
no.
games or anything,
Yeah.
unless Blues are playing. So I don't watch it much.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I suppose
I don't
these.
know. I don't think I have ever.
No.
I honestly don't think I have. Oh yes, I did. When I was in the army, I went to see Aldershot play.
Oh, okay.
Just because it was up the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a dump.
Yeah. But yeah, getting back to it, I could never support or follow.
I always look out to see how Warsaw have done.
Yeah, I look at Warsaw. There's a couple of others. I look at
Newport
for some reason.
I obviously look and want the Dingles and B6 to do badly, whatever. Right, so I'm always looking at whoever's playing against them.
Yeah.
My Super 6 this week. Have I guessed how many points I got, Chris?
Oh, you said whereabouts you?
2.
2. That's all.
I was
So you've
really
dropped down,
gutted.
haven't you?
Really gutted. I haven't even looked at the leaderboard. I was in position 3,200 and something. I bet I've slipped down slightly now, Christopher. And yes, Smashy and Dicey, that's who we are, mate. But he did do it all for charity. It's a Tilton talk show. Right, okay, we're about there. Looking forward to Wednesday night. Looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday, Chris,
Yes.
even if it is just for a piece of bread.
Yes, I'll keep it on the side.
I shall be ringing my son when I get home and tell him that there will be a piece of bread waiting for him at St Andrews on Wednesday.
Good news.
And that he's got to collect it from the back of the Tilton next to the bar. Okay? And you won't get into trouble for it, will you?
Nah,
that's all right.
goodness
I wouldn't
me,
want-
they won't get me
Well, they
into
wouldn't
trouble.
sell me bread.
Well, they couldn't afford to lose, man.
Well, this has been fun tonight.
Yeah,
It's been
good
nice to be back in the studio again. The Tilton Talk Show will resume next Monday night. Nat Peters, GA, myself, Chris Pugh, friend of the show, and Chris Brown, friend of the show, and you all, friends. of the
Before we go, sorry, if I could just mention, just record Blues Ladies Development. It's their final group cup match on Sunday, and it's away to B6 Ladies Development as well. So
Where's
it's
it
a
played
bit
at?
of a local derby. I'm not sure where that's at actually. It's
Okay.
going to be local. I'm not sure where their development side play, but we've already a draw will progress us to the semi-finals of the Development Cup.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Where's the final played at? Do you know?
No, not sure
Okay.
yet. No.
All right. Well, this
That
has
wasn't
been
in
it.
rehearsals, was it? I think?
No, actually, it wasn't in script. It was
Apologies.
No,
Apologies for the.
I love the ad lib. I love it. It's great. You know. It inspires me. It inspires me to come back next week, Christopher.
Just freehand.
Super stuff, Christopher. Lovely to be here with you this evening. Goodbye, everybody. Have a lovely week. Wednesday, get there, be a part of it. Get the back of the Tilton. The bread will be waiting. Good night. God bless.
Not
Take
for
care.
everyone.
Good night.
Have a great week, and let's take them 3 points off the borough, and let me come back and gloat in front on to these Scallies next Monday.
We'll support you till the end of the day.